Just take away his cat.
It's because, you know, you weren't here to...
I don't know why they just cats so sit and dry. That should be very proud of you.
I don't think Madav's mom is ever proud of him.
That's why it's so cool.
Alright, awesome.
Do I need to put my name on this?
It's not.
Where is Cheryl?
Busy.
I don't think I forgot.
Busy.
Yeah, you want
Sometimes I just go to my own.
Is this supposed to be anonymous?
There should be a share button.
No, it's for you.
I really like roll over.
I'm gonna look at yours though, just because if you get one of these that we don't like, you're off the team, okay?
There's 4 options. What's one that you don't like?
One that isn't me, alright?
I'm off the team. God.
Oh, is that my name right up there? EST4 Apple?
No, it's all
I'm just
based
gonna
on
type in
grade.
the URL. I don't care.
You know it's crazy, but we're gonna make you talk like you don't know. It's
Oh,
gonna
no, but it
happen.
doesn't work because of the VPN.
No, I don't set myself high standards.
No, because I need a VPN to make it.
Started.
Democracy.
Survey. 14 playing is getting here faster and you can take a shower.
Okay, first of all, that was valid. Second of all, could you also please note how you
Did you
forgot that
actually
this
wake
was
up?
today after you
Oh,
know
God,
the
you're
code
After doing the work for it, I think I went through that. I was like so tired. I'm like, okay, tomorrow I don't have to do anything. And then like, I get through the production 9 to 2.
Wake up at 4 a.m. in the bathroom. Not just good.
Hey, guys! If you haven't started filling out this weird survey, please do.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe explain
Why don't you introduce yourself and introduce us?
Okay.
It's all good.
Well, I'm not saying okay. I'm Sydney, and I am team captain for Gear It Forward. And today you are attending 2338 University, which teaches leadership skills. So the survey that we handed you is about your leadership, like your style. Then in the back, you'll see there's 3 or 4 pages. Yeah. So it'll explain basically what your strengths and weaknesses are depending on how you fill out the paper. So to better improve yourself.
This is so I can relate to them.
And then after you're done, we will congregate again.
Alright, I think I did it.
Sydney, will you be talking about each of the styles?
Okay. Do your best vote along.
Because I got 7, 10. You're supposed to have like a determined one, but I got 7, 7, 10, 10. Oh, yeah, no, that means I'm just mentally. It says I'm situational and facilitative. Those are like almost completely different ones though. One of them is adapt to the situation, one of them is like strict learning process that everyone can learn from. I mean, they're not. You're going to be authoritative. You know why? Because you do all the work yourself. No one else. No, you should do it so that we can tell them. Dude, it's not that hard of a process. It's very and if you give yourself 3s in most everything, I think there should be another category of cockiness. Well then,
It's a box.
I don't care.
I just gotta make sure I get the same numbers as you.
Why you mad?
It's a game.
It's the game of life.
Yeah, what's a committee?
Committee, you know, like bureaucracies and the committees that discuss stuff and then go to a
So,
verdict.
government.
That's I put a bit like me because I actually hate committees personally.
That's what I said.
But if you like committees, that's okay.
So if you're Ian, that's okay.
Oh no, that's not okay. Ask Mr. Guerreri. Wow, that's not okay. Neenan was asking questions of business. Mr. Guerreri does. Shut up.
Oh, it's double-sided.
Like me,
Physics 2 and 1. I don't have the schedule space or the mental capacity / stress levels to go to physics.
Exercise, do you mean like bedroom?
Why did you switch from 10 to 15?
Because.
Yeah, you can put your chair at the head of the table if you want, my dog. Or you can go in the most complicated way and mess up the stream. God!
Just put your chair over there.
And it's easier to see the screen as
Why
well.
don't you go sit over there? Make friends.
Sydney, do you want me to talk about what each position is? I'll do a quick run through to see how people do. Alright, so guys, getting close to done. Alright, Ethan. Are these
This sounds like a Socratic center. It sounds like
Hey guys, would you mind moving your table? Would you guys mind moving your table over here so that's like And then, do you want to join this table so just turn off the auto? 5 per table then? Okay. So it's more uniform community.
Eventually we are, right?
Yeah.
I know her is the girl that always wears high heels that comes with
Tell me if it doesn't distract me. Read this and tell me if it doesn't distract me. What? Okay. I'm laughing like crazy.
Just heads up, nobody like kick that because that's the stream.
Okay, you know what?
I set myself high standards and expect. Well, I set myself high standards. I don't necessarily meet them. I know what I should do. I think all group members should get any by formal decisions.
You can finish your slide.
Should have a little freedom. So Detroit, a bit like Detroit. I am good at organizing.
Alright, so as you guys are filling it out, if you have not completely filled it out, continue to do so. So you'll see at the bottom of the, basically back of the first page, you'll see all the questions corresponding to that like type of leadership style. So you're going to add up the points that you got for those questions, and then whichever score is the highest will most likely tell you which leadership style you are. So it was actually weird. So I got 7, 7, 10, 10. So I got facilitative and situational as my leadership styles, which kind of sort of is like me, I guess. I mean, I'm not, I don't like to go out of my way to become a leader. I like to have everyone kind of be corresponding leaders and do what they do. But we're going to go through each process. Again, if you're still filling out, continue to do so. And I'll just be talking about what each position is and reading what it says. So, authoritative. This style is based on the idea that leaders should assume personal responsibilities for decisions. The authoritative style is attractive to people who are restless, action-oriented, and have a strong personal vision of what's needed. While the authoritative leader may sometimes consult group members before taking decisions, their favorite approach is to take the decisions first and tell or sell them to the rest of the group. So this is like common with businesses sometimes, where the CEO will just completely take everything underhand, which it's completely okay to be authoritative in many cases where you need to, it's faster to get the work done in all honesty, but it just lacks the ideas. As you can see, the strengths, group members know exactly where they stand. It's like a set hierarchy of who's where. And decisions can be taken rapidly, which is great in a crisis. So if you have like a 3-week deadline, you usually need that authoritative person to tell people what we're doing instead of just kind of not really getting anything done for 2 weeks and scrambling for the last week. And then members can concentrate on operational tasks without having to worry about strategic issues, because it's more about you already know who's going to be doing what, so you basically know who's going to be doing what and what will come as a result. But the weaknesses, as you can probably guess, it's unlikely to win full commitment from all group members because everyone has different ideas and different approaches, and can lead to uninformed and shallow decisions. You didn't really think it through that much. Does not allow members any space to develop because they're stuck in the position they're at. They aren't able to go up the hierarchy, and they're just kind of sitting there. But doesn't mean it's wrong to be authoritative. There's every strength and every weakness to each thing. The next one we have is democratic. The leader is determined to include all group members in decisions about how the group should operate. A democratic style is based on a belief that groups cannot be effective unless all members have an opportunity to participate fully. The democratic leader's role is largely one of establishing a structure and ground rules for the group, protecting these and enabling the group activity. So you can see italicized words are establishing a structure, ground rules, and enabling group activity. You can see that these words are not really saying that they're doing all the work. It's just saying that it's going to have the base foundation, and then they're going to build everything up from there as a group. So strengths, as you guys could probably guess because you've heard of democratic leaders before, is gives power to group members, energizes and motivates group members to achieve their task, and builds individual responsibility amongst members. Because everyone's on their own and works together, they have to build their own individual ideals and basically preach them to everyone for the idea to work. But as a weakness, it's kind of counter to authoritative, may slow down tasks, encourage talk, not action, can frustrate members who like clear direction, inappropriate when rapid decisions are needed, and the most popular decisions are not always the best. You can see that with many FRC teams. Sometimes the decision that was liked by everyone isn't necessarily the one that's going to win them the game, but everyone came to a decision and they can stand behind it. So then we're reaching the final two leadership styles. We got facilitative. The facilitative style is concerned with offering suggestions with group members may or may not take up. Structure, content, and operation of the group are left to group members to determine. So from that, you're basically saying that the facilitative is kind of the guy who's standing in the background, letting them do their thing, but will give suggestions as to what they can possibly do. It's like what the mentors of FRC's team do. While facilitative leaders may not have their own clear opinions about the best courses of action, they are willing to influence the group unduly with their personal ideas. They believe that group activities should be a constant learning process and that it's okay to make mistakes as long as people learn from them. The journey is seen as more important than the destination. So this is talking about how the learning process while going through the actual activity is what is the important goal of the basically doing that activity, I guess. Strengths gives plenty of space for creative ideas to emerge and be explored, enables individual learning, and can be empowered in the right circumstances. Weaknesses can allow the group to become aimless and chaotic. The leadership gap can get filled by others, people who have to operate as informal leaders. People would have to take up a leadership role even though they didn't really want to, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it can lead to, like it was saying, chaotic situations where people aren't listening to a set person. And then situational, the last one, situational leaders is an approach in which the leader attempts to adapt how they behave according to the needs of each situation. The situational leader will vary their style so that it's appropriate for the particular group. For example, their current levels of skill and confidence, and for the particular task in hand. So this is basically saying that as they go, it's kind of like the go with the flow mentality. You'll change and adapt given how everything is going. So strengths allows groups to change over time and adapts to urgent and non-urgent situations. Weaknesses, difficult to carry out effectively. Group members never know what to expect and may resist changes in style. So were you guys able to fill out all your numbers by chance? Does anyone still need a little more time? No? All right, so this is not to call anyone out, but we're gonna just see so that you guys can relate with other people in the group as to who, like,
got which leadership style. So if you're authoritative, like raise your hand, so we can see around who else is authoritative as a leader. See, that's all right. You got 3 of the, what is it? We have 14 people here right now. All right, democratic. Anyone democratic? I mean, that's a pretty hard one to get. I applaud you on that one. All right, facilitative. I mean, I was kind of facilitative myself.
Kind of too.
Right, so yeah. See if you have a number that's equally as large twice. So that means you're both of those, and it's kind of like a joint leadership opportunity, so it happens. Then the last one is situational. Do we have any situational leaders here? So we just have 3 of you guys. Well, that's all right too. Everyone's different, which leads to why people are okay as leaders. So that's pretty much it for this leadership exam and questionnaire. So we're going to be going down to the intro and more so on what we're going to be doing at 2338 University. But these leadership ideas will actually be referenced in like little bits during 2338 University, so that we can actually bring it full circle towards the end, and as to who you are as a person and what leadership ideal in 2338 University that you embody. What? Yeah. I'm putting my paper. What?
Okay, cool. So welcome to 2238 University. What a mouthful. We'll be doing introductions and an icebreaker activity. Oh, I know it's cringy, but we're gonna do it because we have people from other teams and I know none of your names. So, sorry. I'm Sydney again. I'm team captain for Gear It Forward.
I'm Connor. I'm a software captain for Gear It Forward.
I'm Braden. I am the communications captain for Gear It Forward.
I'm Jake. I'm the mechanical captain for Gear It Forward.
And Austin, who is the electrical captain, will be stopping by. He's like doing other stuff today.
He may or may not present anything.
We'll see how it goes.
Okay, so the icebreaker activity that we're going to be doing is it's called a snowball fight. Oh yeah.
Wait, really?
Thank God for recognizing me. No, we're not going to ask oh man, I wish we were. But what happens is we're going to give you all sheets of paper, and then you are going to write something about you on it. You're going to crush it up into a ball, and then when we say go, you have to throw it around the room at each other, and then you pick up one. If you pick up your own, put it, please just tell me, and we'll like put it back and like change it around. And then you will go around and you read it, and you have to guess who it is. Ooh, yeah, creepy. I see you back.
I think the best part about this is the fact that we don't know each other that well, so it's gonna be a kind of like a shoot and guess type of scenario.
Okay. Yeah.
Do we have?
Oh, do you want to do it? Yeah, of course. Who's got some? Yes, please. Please make it school appropriate.
We are in school after all.
These papers have like random symbols in the corner sometimes.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, weird.
Hey, what's going on with those computers?
What do you mean?
The flashing.
Oh, that's how they idle. I don't know. Some tech guy thought it would be nice to have a bunch of flashing epileptic images on each computer.
Really scared.
That's weird.
Well, I guess it keeps it from burning the interactive screen.
You know what this
No, I understand why they have to have the idle things, but I don't understand.
They could just have like the
Our tech guys are still mad that they had to like ban the dinosaur game on Chrome.
They banned it on ours too.
Do you want to rip it in half so we have 2 sheets of paper that we're throwing around? Because
Okay, everybody has to write.
Wait, what exactly should we
Please
write?
effectively rip your piece
just
of
write a
paper in half.
characteristic about you, like
Fold it,
high heels,
and then air it.
high heels.
the real way we tell them
I'm
what leader.
really.
All right, do you guys want to do it yourself? All right, Connor, you want to do something interesting? Just sit in there and watch them go.
Alright, good enough. Wait, when you ready? Here, I'll do one.
No, one of us has to.
I somewhat did it.
I'm
What
so
well,
winning
that
this
would be
stuff.
like
He's writing something about me.
Now.
Ooh, I should write it into the band.
What's the second one supposed to be?
Yeah, the awesome.
Oh yeah, and just as a heads up, guys, this entire stream will be live, so you'll be able to go back and do it anytime you want. So,
We crinkled them up, right?
What? Yeah, like a ball, snowball, a waste of paper ball.
Waste of paper ball.
Ooh, actually, two things.
it's okay, this will all be recycled. We still care about the
Did you put deaf as one of them?
No. Don't read that. It's the easiest thing.
What do I write?
You write stuff about you, so like
That's not something about you. I already told you. It says my
Like,
No,
personality
it has
wise,
to-
or just like,
Okay,
Just in general.
please don't make them super general. Like,
white.
oh,
I have
I have hair.
I am white.
I have
Whoa,
glasses.
Good
calm
luck,
down,
guys.
pal.
Said something about
You can put funny things, but like,
Wait, so is it stuff we're doing or characteristics or
I guess literally anything.
I really
it could be
don't like
something
the
that you've
lack
done
of
before.
structure.
Like over the summer, I went to whatever,
Okay.
or like when I was little, I did this, or like yeah. I'm
go in the basement at night.
Wait, I just saw this.
or like I'm interested in boats, or like I do robotics, but not robotics. Okay, we all do
That's
that.
not, that's not, yeah.
I am a part of
You do robotics?
38.
Basically, just unique to you,
Can
kind
I
of.
write it in Spanish?
If you could write it.
Oh man, I always hate these though.
Tocar.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Dude, I'm not actually. Because I hate that class.
No, it's not that I hate Spanish. It's the fact that I suck at Spanish.
Can we like just push it back and make it bigger?
Take English.
Alright guys, once you guys have your 2 balls of paper that you shouldn't be showing anyone, then we're gonna head over here so that we can road him around.
Jake,
Whoa, hold on a second. Not showing people e-bomb.
am I on?
Oh, that's
Say hi, Mom.
yeah, it's right there. It's on the projector.
The April here.
Oh, it's on the projector.
What?
I'll show you guys live. Just can't get.
How many viewers we got?
Did you still wire?
Right, guys? Let's go win a
All
snowball.
right, everyone get their snowballs ready?
Heck yeah.
All right, let's go over here.
These are not.
Oh dear.
You know, it's okay. We're supposed to recycle them.
Well, are we going to recycle them?
I don't know. What if someone throws this into the
You guys are participating too?
So they're doing an icebreaker activity. You guys can just go ahead and watch. Oh yeah, also hi, I'm Enan. You'll see me and Ethan from time to time. You've been communicating with if you're on here. Yeah.
Wait, is the mic
Fun
in the
times.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because I was just thinking.
So we're going to figure out the YouTube because it's currently going off my personal. So I've got a few more subscribers. 4-year-olds or like 12-year-old me doing videos.
God,
I actually did pretty well for myself at that time. I'm proud.
Wait, those are all yours? Wait, Cindy, I have two. I know who they are.
Hey, who like already knows off the top of their head who's they have? Like straight up.
I'm pretty sure I got the same person, but I don't know who that is.
Okay, then us three. Yeah, well,
Just throw it in the middle and everyone running direct.
okay, yeah.
Alright, direct two.
I think I just grabbed all the two naked ones.
Watch this one. I grabbed my second one. You did? I'm trying! Alright, did anyone else grab the same one? There we go. There's the trade-off.
Okay, is everybody okay with what I got? Yeah. Okay, so we'll go around. Now, you want to start? Okay, start.
It's alright, Val. I will never drink coffee. You're supposed to guess. You agree. Okay. I mean, that's true, but I didn't write that word. See, I could just keep guessing.
Just give two guesses and then whoever actually wrote it send it forward. Oh, which one?
I never drink coffee.
Nope. Okay, so then who wrote it?
Who? You never told me. I would never. I'm not gonna prove it.
Okay, what's the other one?
Right, yeah, yeah. You said drive train.
Oh.
We only have one viewer. We have one viewer.
Well, it's if we don't have a drive train.
Guess who it is? We had a lot of
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Don't jinx yourself.
Ben, did you guess?
Okay, so who did it?
Wait, put out. Did you guess?
Okay, so Ben.
All right. I listened to trash music and rock. Oh, all right. So,
You know, usually you're not supposed to give it away when you're supposed to
the class that was going to be pulling for the class ballots. So that's why I'm trying to find the answer. Oh, good. We're gonna
Alright, I love music and I play trombone. Someone who said they played an instrument. Not me either. Alright, trombone, let's see. You said what? That was a good song. No, I play trombone. You play trombone. Alright. Alright, and then the last one is I like rockets.
Alright. I play some Xbox. Well, someone was scribbled out. It was written in
I can't read it either. What was this supposed to be? See, I knew it wasn't Fortnite because it was way too short, but it's
play bass clarinet.
incorrect. Just given the statement that was written. That is an incorrect statement. Pardon? I should be able to just like give these right away. Someone hates a lot of people hate reading here. I'm like, yes. Yes.
In the library.
What does it say?
Who in robotics is up
Respectable.
Why are we using it
She's the only non-basic one. She's like our spokesperson.
Okay. So now we've got all the way. No, okay, nobody saw you for the example.
Yeah, I didn't notice it.
You were they,
Wait.
Yes.
And we are back to the regular schedule programming.
Mysteriously take them, you're not going to see them.
You're gonna destroy them.
Understandable.
Back to our regular schedule.
$20 and they're all yours.
Okay, everybody. Ooh, as an afterthought, nobody said names. So, really quickly, we're just gonna go around and say our names.
Adam. Matthew.
Ellie.
Adriana.
Ben.
Yvonne. Madame.
Camille. Alina.
Okay, good luck if you remembered all that.
Wait, I forgot mine again.
Yeah.
They're just in the webinar.
Well, I see how it is. We're not part of the team.
No,
Okay.
no,
you're
you
not.
said it, not us.
How'd you get back here? We left you in Indiana.
Nice to meet you, Ethan.
Summers.
I'm Enan. We introduced ourselves on the webinar, so you guys know who we are.
Nice to meet you, other Ethan.
I'm 5 minutes sober. Thank you.
Off of what?
Okay, so this is what we'll be doing today. Obviously, we're going to have an introduction to the aspects of leadership. Then we're going to go over the 5 pillars of leadership. So each of us will be like individually presenting them, except Austin, who might not be here. Then we'll have activities throughout the presentation because we know presentations are boring. Anyway, so we will be asking you like questions throughout. Some of them may seem rhetorical, but we're going to have you talk with your groups for like 30 seconds, and then we'll ask you. Well, I assume it doesn't take you 5 minutes to come to a consensus.
What if it does?
You'd be
You're doing it wrong. You're thinking wrong.
Okay, guys, there's a
So, the 5 pillars of leadership are model the way, inspire, share vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. So, does everybody have the potential to be a leader? And should everybody consider themselves potential leaders? We're so
Well, no, then yes.
No,
I would have to agree with that because everybody can say that they're a leader, but be an absolute trash leader.
Well, if you look at Ian,
Therefore, it's not.
Yeah, no.
Therefore,
Yeah,
I
I could
like
like.
leader of like from the consensus.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So yeah, that's exactly the point. The first one.
Should someone buzz it in or something?
Do we have a buzzer?
Yeah, some people like.
Some people just don't want to be.
I could be like somewhere. I could be somewhere in the chain, but I wouldn't be like.
Yeah, some people like she's a beat follow the leader.
Some people just aren't cut out for leadership.
Does anyone need water by chance?
Yes, please.
We have liquids.
Yes.
Okay.
Neither of them are mine.
If you have thirst.
Social Darwinism, here we come.
Oh, that's
Oh,
not
no.
good.
That was beautiful.
Adam wants one also.
Adam has to like.
Anyone else?
I'm still caught it.
This is
You're saying him in
No.
we have a water just
The frick is this
now we're gonna get this good and badly.
Write your name. You hit my computer, I'm suing.
It's a computer.
Hit it.
Got it.
Okay,
So,
so
basketball, not robotics.
table 1.
Yeah, we're gonna say no and no for the first question. Okay, so for the first question,
Please explain.
we're not saying that anyone should like never ever be a leader, but some people just aren't cut out to be leaders. Some people don't want leadership positions, and some people. No. It's not intentional to be mean or anything. It's just I've seen personally some people just cannot deal with the pressures of leaderships, the pressures of taking on kind of the responsibility of that, and some people don't have the drive to go the distance and be a leader. And also, although everyone should, hold themselves to a high standard, I think it's more important to know yourself, and if you know that you're not someone that's cut out for a leadership role, then put yourself in a position where you can be successful in a non-leadership position.
yes. Our answers were also no. I mean, that was a great answer, but also Ian.
Wow. Nice.
Throwing shade.
Come to Molly you want sometime, you'll enjoy it.
What?
Come to Molly you want sometime, you'll enjoy it.
Okay, well the next slide contradicts everything you guys said, although I totally agree on some points. So, leadership, leadership is everybody's business. So, while the general sense of leadership would be like, oh, I'm standing up here presenting, so I'm in a leadership position and I'm doing all this. But everybody has something that they're good at and stuff that they're bad at. So, like, if somebody else is, I guess let's say, Yvonne, you like math, you're good at math. So then people who aren't good at math, you could like help them. So then you're a leader to them about that specific thing. So everybody can be a leader in that aspect, but like in like a pressure situation, there are definitely people who cannot handle it. So next questions are, who is a leader that you admire? Could you inspire others as much as they do? And what obstacles do you see that may keep you from learning to be a great leader?
Scott.
No.
I
I don't think I can inspire anyone as much as he doesn't inspire anyone.
Are we allowed to?
Nice.
Hey guys, carbon fiber.
See, I have a very loose version.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Actually,
wait,
I'm just holding the broken right now.
most of the countries do a pretty good job.
You did get it.
I said most of the countries.
No, like 7 or 4.
Okay, so who can you, could you inspire others as much as they do? Possibly. Okay, which obstacle do you see? Just like different personalities. It's like, I don't know how to deal with some personalities.
Okay, so I'm gonna like kind of speed it up because we spent way too much time playing with snowballs. Although that was great. Anyway, you guys have an answer? Not you.
One of my mentors, Scott, is someone I kind of look up to, but the only problem is I can't really inspire much as people as he does because he doesn't inspire anyone.
Dang. Okay, let's keep it GP.
Okay, to be fair, Scott is not in the States right now.
He's like in
And he's very blunt. He tells you as it is. So he's just like, if I'm just like, hey, look at my idea, I thought it all out. He's like, no, you didn't. Here's a big problem. He's that kind of dude.
This dude inspires me. I love it. I love it.
He's also, hey, carbon fiber.
Okay, but then what obstacles do we see that, like, that blah, 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 that question? Like, different personalities, because, like, some personalities are kind of hard to get along with, because they're like, we could do our own thing. I'm like, no, you can't. So,
okay. Wow. There's a long story to that.
Not bad.
We didn't talk about leaders we admire. We talked about effective leaders.
Yeah.
So, like, we didn't talk about the most pleasant people. We're gonna have to hold out Margaret.
Okay. So the gist of it is that leadership is learned. So while it may be hard to like overcome certain like aspects that keep you from being a leader, it's a progressive like journey. So then as you become more confident in yourself and stuff like that, then you become a better leader and you're able to like spread that to others.
He rolled back when he's drinking water. He's like dying.
Okay. So we have some more questions. Feel free to just answer like one of them because we're just going to speed through. So does a leader need to have a relationship with everyone in the group? What kind of relationship should a leader have with those that they lead? Are some members of the group important than others?
Okay, so yes, you should have a relationship. But that's my kind of leadership. So because like then you're like, no, like the weak like the strengths and like weaknesses and you like play on the strengths.
There are members that are more
and then you just do it.
They're more
I know always have a fight.
I just answered all three of those about
basically everybody.
Well, do you want to say that to the group?
Yeah.
But you can't talk about
Okay, and then what kind of
Okay.
Of course I do.
Okay, you guys go first.
Okay, so a leader should have a relationship with the group. It should be PG, but it should be enough that you're comfortable with them, and to some extent, some members who do more work should be more important. Like if you sit around and do nothing, you shouldn't be more important than someone who works their like entire day on that.
We had a bit of a disagreement, but
Hold up, somebody who has to answer.
well, I wasn't going to answer the whole question.
Erica, why don't you?
Why me? I don't even like
You haven't
talking to
answered
regular
yet.
people.
Well, you do regular people.
Like well, this is more than 2 people. So well, I mean, yeah, we did have a disagreement. Like we said yes because when like there, even if it's like internal
like relationship with like one group and then they all know each other. It can having a relationship with people, you can learn their strengths and weaknesses and like you can make them work more effectively. And then you said,
Yeah, we like.
I said, well, it's nice to know everybody. It's also a lot more efficient to know somebody who knows everybody. It's like to have people that know people. You know, so you don't have to like.
It's like disassociate. But
Yeah,
like,
so you can work it down a chain.
Yeah,
Like, so
okay.
you know everybody through association.
Okay, okay. I got you. So, so leadership is a relationship. You do have to establish like some kind of relationship with, like, either in a work environment with your employees. So they have to know who you are and how you lead. So like how you feel about certain things and like how you approach situations, stuff like that. And then PG is important. In a work environment, stuff like that. Okay. Oh man. So essentially, basically, you need to like generally know how like your employees will feel about things. There have been like insurgencies and stuff like that, and we don't like those. So unless it's just, everybody should be agreeing with each other. You know, like everybody should have a general vision shared with them. Sorry. So, what is self-development? Do you have something that you want to be good at, and how will you do that?
Self-development is like learning yourself, teaching yourself something, and
But that doesn't always
you're doing it on your own, kind of you're making it happen.
how would you do that?
Yeah.
It's what it says.
Yeah.
Do you have something you
Well,
want to
sure.
do?
You can do a lot of stuff. So many art.
Can I use it?
Yeah, help me.
Especially
You
with
need a
the
man. Yeah.
Wait, but like, you can't get
Yeah, no,
it.
I'm.
Practice.
It's self-development. I think it's all about how to understand your emotions, how you respond to things, and then you use that to
I got you.
communicate with
No, but
other
like
people
that's
and
like.
to lead most effectively.
This one's much easier. Something I'm very good at meeting how you do that.
Okay.
Comes full circle.
Okay, so
We've got it.
if you have an answer, you gotta answer.
Do I have a picture of one?
It's like, well, with self-development, how you will achieve this is you can't get good at something without practicing it. So you can look at what you're good at and see how you can apply it to some situations. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's how you learn. It's like a process.
So like practice makes permanent.
Yeah.
Okay.
You took the lead on that one. You should answer.
Alright, so self-development, kind of you're saying, kind of like they were, it's, you're working on your own to better something of yourself, but you can also, you do it with other people. So like our example is you want to be good at a leader. So you would do that by developing yourself based on the people around you and what their needs are, and then changing to yourself and making yourself, yeah. Kind of got a weird tangent there.
Yeah.
We talked about, but yeah.
So leadership development is self-development and is an ongoing process. So as you develop and you get confident yourself, then your leadership abilities grow and like your way to approach situations improves, basically with experience. So, the next questions are, how can you practice leadership if you are not the one in charge? And what kind of leader do you aspire to be?
So like, if you practice it when you're not, like, you should like,
Well,
talk to, like,
no.
leaders, like how they
Yes,
do
no.
things,
You have to
like
legally
take that in when you do become a leader and see what works
You gotta get all the
criticism.
Everyday
and then elect yourself to dictate.
Well, you're given one mouth and 2 ears, so listen and do a good job as a follower, and then you'll be recognized by the leader, and you'll be like, hey, you're pretty good at what you do. Tell me why you're good at what you do, and you'll be like, well, I've been listening to what you're saying, and I'm thinking that I can help you be a leader by taking an example.
No, it's gonna be
I know I personally.
Connor, I can't believe
People on our team, if
Okay. Hey, you guys want to go first?
I'm very bored.
Pay attention to like what the leader's doing and like start with small steps and build it up as you go.
Matt, you pick the lead on the
Oh, what? Okay. That's what I said. Next drink 2 years. Oh yeah. So you got. Thanks, Adam. You got 2 ears. You got 1 mouth. So you know, when you're at the bottom, you listen to what your leader's saying, and like you kind of learn from example. And if you do a really good job as a follower of that leader, you know the leader's gonna want to talk to you and ask you why you're so good at what you do, and then you'll be given leadership positions and stuff because you know you'll gain recognition. So you know to be a leader, you got to be a follower first.
You went deep.
I am deep. Oh, shut up. Keep it in
Okay,
PG-13.
so leadership is an aspiration and a choice. It requires deliberate practice. So essentially, just hype yourself up, man.
Come on, man. Just say something loud.
Get going.
Let's get this bread.
If you want it, take it. Don't steal. That's wrong.
No, that is bad.
Okay.
So like
I'm gonna skip it,
assassination,
sorry.
right? Sydney, are you saying assassination is okay? If you want to be the leader, get rid of the
Assassination is
current
okay.
leader.
Stealing is wrong.
This is literally
Please do not commit crime.
That's 141 right there.
Sydney, you're under arrest.
That's what do I want to
So, leadership makes a difference. You inspire others. You share a vision. Everybody is together on it. You're basically the whole point is just that a leadership shouldn't be like a dictatorship. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
We shouldn't.
That's what it is.
Everybody should be like happy with it. You understand?
Not everyone's always
Okay. So leadership is the art of mobilizing others to want to struggle for shared aspirations.
So if there's no struggling, you're not doing it right.
Yes, that is very true.
So next we'll be doing Model Way.
Our first pillar of leadership.
Yeah, Jacob Blocker. I love you.
That is abuse.
Don't ask.
I am asking.
Hello, everyone. I have modeled the way. So before you may become leaders, you must first identify like what are your core beliefs. So once you identify your core beliefs, you must be able to accept others' core beliefs in order to create like a more kind of perfect union with all your people who are underneath you. So leadership comes in all different forms, and it's mostly the model you provide for your peers and how you behave. Mostly going back to the thing I just said, like you need to have your things that you identify with, which also kind of encompasses some of your students' beliefs. So Freedom and Commitment 1, you must clarify values by finding your voice and reaffirming your shared values. Alright, so talk about these with the group. What do you guys spend time on, and what does that tell you about what you value? What guides your thinking when you're making a decision? And think about a time when you were upset by something. Look behind your frustration, anger, or resentment, and what does that experience tell you about what you value?
Ooh.
Now go.
Oh, yay.
Oh, no.
What do you spend time on?
Book of the Lord
You're not ordained. You can't do that. You're not ordained.
Enjoy. Things that we love.
Hear about the Holy
Yes, you do. You're not ordained. Uh-huh.
I didn't know you could draw.
You know what?
Okay. What guides you think when you come to a decision?
Don't suspect.
I don't know. What I believe.
I guide you. My deep moral beliefs.
What do I spend time on? What?
Okay, think about a time when you were upset by someone. Okay. That I need to listen to other people's ideas and not just think of mine as the best. There.
I don't know.
Yes, that's a yes.
Go, man.
You want my answer in words?
No.
Yes.
They're still talking.
Guys,
Give us
what,
the
they're
silent.
talking about stuff that isn't related.
We got on the
All right,
tangent.
all right, guys. So, what do you guys spend time on, and what has that told you about something that you value?
Well, I like to make sure that those important people in my life are happy and getting work done. You know, that tells me that I don't like getting work done.
So then, you guys, what guides your thinking when you're making these group
Like like what we believe in.
Morals.
Is anything like more important than the other? Do you know?
It depends. There like your certain morals like that are well, this is more important than this, but then it depends situational.
Okay, and you think like experiences shape that?
Yeah.
And then you guys, take the last question. Time you were upset, what does that tell you about what you value?
Well, when you're upset about something, that means you normally care about it, and it didn't go the way you planned, and that just shows that you enjoy that thing and you want to make it better.
I knew that my teammates, especially the younger ones, were looking up to me because and would follow my behavior because that's what I did when I was in their shoes. I had to model the best behavior to set a standard of how to act. Matt Steele. So kind of going off, like, the way I think of it is like leaders have credibility. And credibility is kind of like your money that you have. The more credibility you have, as in money, the more you can like spend it on people you like lead with. So, and without any credibility, you're not going to be able to relate or share an experience with any of your teammates. So leaders must have credibility and be authentic.
I think it's ethos more so.
What?
Ethos more than credibility. Leaders have the power of ethos on their side, so then it's easier. Pathos and logos are easy to accomplish, but because they automatically have ethos, because they're in a leadership position, then they can use all of those three to make an even more convincing argument than someone without.
I thought this was PG.
Framing commitment number 2. Set the example by aligning actions and shared values. So you guys know of any examples when someone has set an example for you and you followed it? Do you guys remember?
Yeah.
Yes.
And what did that teach you? Like what specific values?
A specific value
Like
that it taught me.
did it teach you to trust them more, or is what they set an example for not something that you value anymore, and that has taught you not to value them?
Well, kind of. You know that. Sometimes being
Where's your Hulk
best
at?
option. Something. You know, in certain situations where you can't be kind, well, not necessarily, but you have to just be to the point and like. Yeah.
I learned that those who follow you are only as good as the model you present them with. So you might have an amazing leader and sets an amazing example, and you may be the leader next up, but the people who are after you are only going to be as good as the example that you set for them. So what does credibility look like behavior? You guys can talk this out with me. So like when you act, how does that show that you have credibility?
Well, the way you treat people, that kind of shows.
Like don't like what your
Awesome.
Hey, don't do this.
Well,
I will throw this one. I will throw this one.
what do we do next week? So you gotta be true to your word. So if you say for something not to do something, then don't do it. So
I moved away from the kid I was last year sitting in the message.
I'm glad.
I did that. I did that like
You guys. So what does credibility look like?
So a credible person looks like he knows what he's talking about. So he has to like have like knowledge on the topic and people have to know that he has knowledge. Or no, he or she.
Or
Oh my God, Yvonne.
them.
Come on.
I'm sorry. People have to know that the leader has credibility.
Because he or she is inefficient, so usually it's better to just pick one pronoun
Yeah, just
to
say
use
they.
when you're being vague.
What about those non-binary people out there?
I really apologize. Like, I didn't mean to do that.
You're gonna Alright, so you guys, what does credibility mean?
Like, don't like contradict yourself and like stick to your word. Like, hey, don't do this, and like 1 week, and then like next week, like stick to it. Like, don't do this, and not just like ignore it.
Yeah, so leaders have to stick to their core values, and also do what you say you will do. DWYSYWD. Because everybody will remember that. I know. Everyone remembers that.
DWYSYWD. It's like Wizzy Wizzy.
If you guys start chanting that when you're walking down the hallway, I'll actually like.
Oh wait, no, but it's symmetrical.
It is.
Oh.
Ooh, I like that.
DWYSYWD.
It's a palindrome. Yeah.
What about the acronym WWJT?
All right, so leaders have core values, and they stick to those core values. Leaders who do not stick to their core values will not have any credibility and will not have any students to relate underneath them, and will be a poor leader. So, DWYSYWD. What values do you guys think are most important to you?
The one that causes least harm to people.
Fear is a very good
Well, yes.
If you are not afraid of leaders, that leader's doing it.
Well, yeah.
Like, come on, everyone's terrified of Sydney, right?
Oh, you gotta lead.
We're terrified of you. That's what makes you a great leader.
Respect you, not necessarily fear you, but you do want to have.
You need that respect.
Not intimidation factor respect, but people people have to respect you.
People have to respect you in order to be for you an effective leader. You need the respect. If there's no respect, then
I'm trying to get a head
even
start.
though you might be an effective leader. Then it all comes down to the point it might be there.
Yeah, don't be
about meaning.
Then you
what values
use your leaders.
Honesty.
The ones that cause the least harm to people.
Find something like.
Yeah, but what are those?
Honesty.
Correct, because honesty can often cause.
We just appreciate it because you have a timeline while doing this.
You decided about it.
Yeah.
Please don't flip this over. You guys have a time limit.
Okay, so basically, inspiration.
Am I wrong, Sydney?
Yeah, but what if they really suck and they're like, hey, I think this
All right, does everyone have a pencil?
No, I actually have a pen.
That's fine.
Everyone's got
Does everyone have something to write with?
Yes.
Does everybody still have their pen?
I kind of broke it, but it's okay.
I ate
Do you know
Hey,
this?
this one
No,
doesn't
it
work.
doesn't fidget with it, so this can
This one.
All right.
Anyone need a pen? Maddox, you need a pen?
So
Everyone got a pen?
So now everyone flip the paper over, and you have 2 minutes to pick your top 10 values.
Oh no! Go!
This is individual.
We're timing you.
Yeah, don't. We'd appreciate it if you guys didn't talk to each other. Like, I know it's a community.
Wait,
but
how many?
still.
10.
No, that's gonna be hard.
10 is what you said?
I'd
correct?
advise not, like, just putting a check mark next to it to start out with, because you'll realize you'll have more than 10 at the end. Most likely, like,
Probably.
hopefully.
Well, I was gonna have everyone.
Ooh. 10. That, yeah, for the second half.
Read.
Creativity.
4. 5.
Ben.
Individual.
Ben talks out loud is really annoying.
Most people do talk out loud.
Ben.
Talking is.
Pick one more.
Yep, that's 10. A leader doesn't need that.
Hey, individuals. Guys, do you have 10 circles?
Yes.
Alright. Make sure
You guys have 30 seconds.
Oh no!
Guys, I'm gonna fail the test.
And like flip over your paper once you're done so that
15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
If you're not done, you failed. F.
Okay. All right. Everyone, stop writing.
If
All
you
right.
have 9, you're out. Get
So now as a group, out of all the things you've circled, what are your top 3 values? And this is as a group. So combine all of your statement. And you guys have another 2 minutes.
So did any of you circle
No.
Next to each other.
Communication.
responsibility?
No. Well, anyway.
No. Creativity.
No.
Discipline.
No.
You're not
Diversity.
What? No. That's not required. It's just helpful. No. Again, that's helpful, but not necessarily.
Yeah,
That's where it's at.
Again, helpful.
Did you guys have happiness?
Mine are all like business minded.
I need you task focus.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, task focus is number 1.
next to each other. Just look across the paper.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so let's go trust.
How about I have trust? Do you guys have trust?
No, I do not. Matt, do you?
You guys have respect?
Yes, I have.
I know.
Yeah, respect another two.
Is that supposed to be a Lucas
You guys will also bring respect. I don't know.
That's the Lucas Arts logo.
Okay, what about like teamwork?
Nope.
Are we supposed down?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I did not put, oh no, you should have. But that's not a core value.
You guys have 30 seconds.
Inefficient.
Okay, what about teamwork?
No, inefficient and a lot of time.
Or human relationships.
Okay, what about
That better be.
It's alright. It's alright. It should be.
It depends what human relationship
quality
you're talking about.
Oh,
Like,
quality.
if
Oh,
it's
quality. I got quality.
So that you're always connecting with people. I agree with Yvonne.
Okay, why don't you
talking about not
5, 4, 3.
You guys got your
You got a 3. Or do we have to share?
All right, stop. So, hey, stop. All right. What were your guys' 3 most important values that you came up as a group?
Okay, so we have trust,
Yours.
courage, and patience.
Okay. So then what were your guys' top 3?
Trust, respect, and quality.
Since we didn't put trust, we put task
Oh,
focus.
task focus.
Task focused. Okay.
You don't need to trust.
So,
all you need.
then you guys, why did you identify the ones that you did?
Well, we like looked for traits that we like had in common with other people that we circled, and so these are like the top 3. Maybe like 3 of us had trust, and like 4 of us had courage.
Okay. And then why did you guys choose?
Task focus is like the only one the majority of us had, and the other 2 we talked about and agreed on. Like 2 of us might have had like respect, and we would talk about it, and yeah, we decided quality. Quality.
So that's, hey.
I love you.
So, trust is, yes, a very important thing because you need to be able to trust your leaders, and then task focus is also another good one because leaders must stay on task and, again, identify with their core beliefs. So then, model the way summary. Model the way is all about finding your core beliefs and seeing how they relate to your students' core beliefs and modeling the way for future leaders. So you must stick to your core beliefs and just don't contradict yourself. And DWSYSWD. Do what you will say you will do. So you say
DWYSYD.
I don't remember.
DWYSWYD.
Remember,
Do what you will
down
say
the middle.
you will do. And then you become an effective leader and be credible and authentic and have ethics.
Oh yeah, guys, it's the cuter ginger.
I'm just gonna go to the bot cave with you.
Are you sure they appreciate you?
They do.
Yeah, they definitely.
Don't use for airsoft.
Sorry, I built pretty much most of the ropes right before competition.
One time we wired the robot, but then we used the wrong type of wire in the whole spot, and we had to do it the day, like 1 hour before
Yeah, you could buy
competition.
like a bunch of giant ones that are biodegradable.
No, you don't.
If you play outside and have fun.
No, you do darts. Especially if you're nerfing in a big group, you do darts to make sure.
But that takes away the fast-paced fun.
All right, guys, let's bring it in. Let's bring it in.
No, that's not.
Let's give our attention to Mr. Sutton.
AKA the cuter ginger.
I mean, that was a good throw.
I'm going to be talking to you guys about inspiring a shared vision. So, number one thing, what is that? I could try to come up with a nice definition on the spot, but this packet does it a lot better. So exemplary leaders are able to envision the future. They look ahead and imagine the extraordinary becoming ordinary things. Well, more so, they imagine extraordinary things and imagining it happening to them. So student leaders make sure that what they see is something that others can see as well. They try to share this vision with others. They understand that it's not just their own vision of the future that's important. It's the collaborative vision. It's the group vision. It's the shared vision.
Whoa. I'm shook.
So when visions are shared, they attract more people, they keep them motivated, and they help them withstand challenges and setbacks. And I think this is one of the most important values, because if you're able to inspire a shared vision within others, you don't even really have to lead them, because they're all so into it.
You already very much.
I love you.
So leadership isn't telling people what to do. It's painting a picture of this exciting possibility, this future, and imagining how they can achieve this common goal. So Anthony Bianchi said that. He's. Do you know who any of these people are?
No, it was on the last presentation. I just copied and pasted.
Wow, Sydney. Plagiarism?
He's a good guy. You should
It was
look
the
him
one
up.
that like
Don't know who he is.
the like coaches made.
You looking him up?
Yep, plagiarism.
Hey, giving them credit now, though.
So here's our third framing commitment. And we didn't really explain these in the beginning. Framing commitments are sort of our overarching sentences, phrases that sum up very important points in our leadership presentation. So this third commitment is to envision the future by imagining exciting and ennobling possibilities is what it's supposed to say, but Sydney cut out words somehow.
Again, copy and paste.
So I want you guys to think about the word ennobling. Try to figure out what that means if you don't already know the definition, and think about why it's being used here.
Wait, what?
What word? Say the question.
The word ennobling is not in the presentation because Sydney deleted it.
Wait, is that the question?
Now it's there. Go find the word ennobling.
What?
Look up a definition and talk about why it's relevant.
Go, Matt, go. Look
What?
this up. You just put your phone out. Look up ennobling.
I got it.
Oh, that's to make things.
Hey,
word.
Hey Siri, what does
Shush,
ennoble?
I got it. It's to give someone an over-ranked title. So
Give
it's
someone
just
no grade of dignity or nobility of a character too. No, I went to take the bottom below because of force. Because physics.
Okay. What was the definition?
to give someone like a rank title.
Cool. Nice. Fun.
Yeah.
All right, you guys reach a sort of conclusion. So
Yeah.
why do you think it's important that they are exciting and ennobling possibilities?
So we had to Google what ennobling meant, and we figured out it basically means like giving someone recognition or making someone like feel important. And I think it's important because it gives someone like a sense of purpose, and it gives motivation.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it also helps like create relationships within the team, because like if you're in a team, you always need to create like at least some kind of relationships.
I like those answers. So I wasn't actually looking for a specific answer here. I just wanted to see what you guys would come up with. What are the most important ways? What?
There's more here. This is the old presentation.
What presentation were you looking at?
We have two different things.
We got a black belt versus potent computer.
No, it's on the next one too.
Anyway, one of the most important takeaways I have from this is that
Yeah.
you're
That I can play guitar.
envisioning a unique future, not just for yourself, but for a greater common good for others. So it's important to incorporate others into your vision. I mean, it's important to have a vision for yourself too, but having others be a part of it definitely helps. So the more involvement and the more people you have in creating your vision, making it their own, the more support you as a leader will have, said Dina Jones probably. So off of this quote, I want you guys to try to think about a leader you admire who gave you a vision that you still think about today. What made that vision compelling? What drew you into it?
Warren Underwood.
Like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Super
I
inspiring.
love him. Yeah, but he's broke.
Before he became super toxic.
Whoa.
He's not so broke.
Not attack my boy
He's
Elon.
about to go broke.
Okay, we're on a first name basis.
He just started by going into a depression.
The man's a genius. He can't fund anything.
Before Elon just started blazing it.
Like, it doesn't matter whether these leaders actually did something, but they plant a vision in your head that you realize, like, whoa, I want to be part of this.
He's just like, hey.
Okay, it's like trying to start off. He's your turn.
He's an idiot.
He's the weird cousin.
Tyler's not
I was starting right there beside the face was based on
Good point. That's why.
It's like simply who he is.
Yeah.
I like it that.
I got it.
Are you going to talk about inspiring leaders? I don't know any inspiring leaders that I still have inspired about. A lot of the like big leaders in life have just been like disgusting. Rip Stinging Lee in the chat.
Why did you
Rip Stinging Lee.
I am too.
Right.
Yes, it's
right
it
if
is
you're
Tony Sting.
leaving the bond?
Yeah.
All right, do you guys have some visions in mind you want to share?
Madov's blind. He doesn't know vision.
Then Tyler.
Tyler, it sounds like you have an idea.
Sounds like you
Share
really
with
like
us.
talking.
You can't.
You can't do that.
All right, then I'm going to call in Camille. You get the share.
Vision.
Yeah.
Accomplishing a better future than what we have now.
But
Like,
whose vision?
who gave you that vision? Why did you get that? Did you get that vision from someone else? Like, what was so impressive about it that ingrained into your own sense of self?
Well, not to get physical, but Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, the one and only. Preach.
So, why was that vision so inspiring?
Because as he lived, he's helped a lot of people and realized and made them see the truth of his teachings. Well, of course he's dead, but
So very
it does-
credible.
Yeah, very credible. Yeah.
Stand.
What about you guys?
Actually, if it's okay, I have a kind of a personal one. So, if you guys are familiar with the psychologist Jordan B. Peterson, he's some of the stuff that he does is controversial, but if you like really look into what he teaches and what he believes in, I think it really inspired me to think about like, hey, you're never going to become successful if you wallow in your own emotions and you do things that are like only self-serving. So I got the opportunity to see him like speak one time, and it really made me understand like, yes, I want to be successful, but to be successful you just have to work. And I was always really afraid, like I'm not really naturally gifted at anything, and so I'm competing against all these people that have like all this natural ability, and that really inspired me to think like I might not be naturally gifted at something, but I have a crazy work ethic and I will just work my butt off until I get at the same place. And so I think seeing that vision of you can be successful, this is how it really inspired me to become more confident with my own my own abilities.
like that great answer. Do you guys have any other personal?
We kind of talked about how you have to do anything, but what did we talk about again?
Hard.
Tony Stark.
Yeah, we talked about Tony Stank.
I mean, he counts. Like, if he inspires a vision within you, then
I think that Robert Downey Jr. is also really inspiring.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is
Robert
great.
Downey Jr., Tony Stark.
They're the same person.
They're the same person.
But he was like a terrible alcoholic, and then
Oh,
he like
he wasn't
picked
an
himself up by
alcoholic.
the bootstraps and like fixed himself.
He was great. Yeah, no, he was like
and Tom Holland
Yeah,
is
he
literally
just-
Peter Parker.
Well,
Tom
also
Holland is
Margaret
the
Thatcher.
perfect.
I mean,
We don't have that.
Margaret Thatcher.
All right, so to help you guys better understand what it means to inspire a shared vision, we're going to play a loosely related game.
Oh, loosely.
I love games.
Yeah.
Is it life?
Oh, that was definitely
Monopoly?
Oh, no.
All right, so this game is called Fishbowl. It's a mix of charades, taboo, and password.
What?
I don't know if you've heard of these games.
Bucket of Doom? Oh, no.
Okay,
No,
that's
this
different.
is
It sounds like
related
Lane
to
TV.
using your bucket. So actually, you guys are all going to play together. Big group of 11.
So
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you guys want to go over there? Or do you want to like try to go around these tables, or?
Yeah, there, so we have more space.
All right.
I guess I'll just stand up then.
What was that? Are you okay? Alright.
You're gonna play as well.
Is the camera still on?
A shape resembling a circle.
So we're playing another game. I'm going to shift it over so you guys can view it.
Alright, so every other person in the circle is going to be part of the same team.
So basically, the people next to your person.
So everyone's going to get 3 slips of paper. You're going to have to like carry this part yourselves. I didn't bring over anybody. So
I'm grabbing everybody's pen. Did anybody bring their own? And who really doesn't want to share?
Alright, so on every single so every single piece of paper, you're going to write either a word or a memorable phrase.
Okay, but it has to be like something that everybody knows about. Okay, yeah, if it's a quote, it has to be something everybody knows about.
Don't make it something stupid.
Like, something everybody knows. Yeah, like if you write a meme and everybody knows what it is.
Alright, so this game is going to consist of 3 different rounds. So in this first round, we have teams A, teams B. I'm going to say I'm team A, everyone else, every other spot is also team A. Sydney's team B, every other spot, and then team B. So here's how this is going to work. The first round is taboo, which means that Sydney is going to pick one of these paper out of that. She's going to read it, and she's going to have to get the other components to guess the word without saying the word. She's not allowed to do any stories. She's only allowed to talk. So she can say anything she wants except for the word that is. And she has a minute to do it. The 70s are hard to do. If she gets the word, then she gets to put it down and then grab it down. If the word is too hard, she can pass on it, but she can only pass once per turn. So I'm going to start 1 minute at a time here. Alright, so don't mess this up. Okay? 3, 2, 1, go. Awkward rocking chairs. Chair. So we're going to have to keep going around until we run out of things. Remember, the only one guessing is it's your own team. If it doesn't get to
Don't guess for the other team.
Alright.
Ready? Set, go.
What do you guys think? Public transportation. Boss. Ben, you're definitely on the team. This is what your parents That is tragic. Whoa, that's whoa, that's cool. It's not weird. It's not weird. No. It's not weird. It's just not down, but up. Oh my god. What's that thing I said? I did. Oh, come on. No, stop. Stop. How am I supposed to do that? Until we run out of words. And then we'll play another round. Different games. So this game's hopefully you remember yourself. Yes. Oh my God. No, I didn't write that one. I just said when you walk into this restaurant, this phrase. Shawshank Redemption. The actor in Shawshank Redemption. Yes. Alexa, this is Impact one. Lower. You're done. You're done. You're done.
Did I just get roasted?
Elon Musk is cool. Next person.